Hey Capricorn, how are you? Welcome to November. Well, my lovely Cappies, did tell you in the overview that I would tell you which house Saturn was operating in for you, and it is the third house. Now, you Capricorns, I say this with love, you are very earth people. It is a Saturn ruled energy, so you're quite strict with yourselves in some way, and you can be quite stern, and I do say that with love. But this third house energy is asking you to look at how, well, I wanted to jump out here. Oh, I cannot believe it. It is Aries energy. Okay. Um, so again, this sensation of how we maybe communicate our needs to others. Um, yeah, I think that's quite interesting. So maybe checking in on that. We can be a little bit of the authoritative, of course. It's Cappy, your cardinal, and as I say, the earlier solar eclipse in Libra. Um, yeah, let me just have a look at this, guys, before I say something. Wow, magician, that's very interesting. Oh my goodness me, look at this, Cappy. Whoa, and we are moving forward. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. So, again, how we communicate, that's something that we need to look at, but it's also dealing with messages. Don't forget that. All right? So, messages, messages, messages. I think this is actually quite important. I do. Yeah, I do think that. I do think that. I think it is a bit tricky. So let's have a look. Wow, Pentacle, that's you again. Moon, whoa, hello, Tower, oh goodness me. Wow, how many majors have we got on the table for you, Cat? One, two, three, four, five, six majors. I cannot believe it. Six out of eight cards on the table here are major arcana cards. Now, we did know that that first eclipse, the solar eclipse in Libra, I did talk about it last month. You're a cardinal energy. You're one of the four cardinals, and so that energy in Libra, the way we sort of communicate to others, maybe we need to brush up on that a little bit. I say this with love, Cappy, but you are very straight, you're very straightforward in a lot of ways. So maybe it is that we need to sort of have a little look at here. Hmm. Yeah, relationship, emotion, building. And there's a Cancerian energy on the table. That's interesting too. The Chariot. All right, let's have a little look at this. Torn in two different directions. Other people communicating with you. All right, making a decision. Towers, if you just got to the end of your tether with something or some people. Um, Again, King of Pentacle. I've got to throw you in there with that, but again, Pentacle energy, Cappy, Taurus energies. It is quite, I don't know whether or not you just can't be bothered with any small talk, or you just, mm, um, it's the word I'm looking for here. Yeah, Libra, connection, female, needing to recognise, wow, again, there's somebody celebrating here. Aquarius, you're very lucky you had that one as well. So, again, Capricorn, what can I say? You've got to have somebody who's on your level here as far as communication is concerned. I think that what we're looking for now within our relationship is a seduction of the mind as well. I don't know whether or not that can make sense to you guys at this time. But again, we've got very strong mental energies. We need to be stimulated. I'm not just talking about sexual energy here, I'm talking about the mind, Capricorn. So again, how we communicate that to other people, how other people are communicating that to us, certainly. Um, Making a decision, tower energy. I don't know whether or not you just hit a point with everything and everybody where you're just thinking, do you know what? Um, I often say this to client, I'd rather be at home watching Netflix than in this situation, listening to this nonsense. So it may well be that you're less tolerant, all right. Particularly so with, bearing in mind it is your Saturn is your energy. It is Cappy energy. He is now moving direct, so sort of not being as sort of what's the word? I mean, it is Pisces, not being as forgiving of people, said with love, and you just might be just cheesed off with it all, really. So we may well, certainly with this Libra energy, be wanting to sort of cast our nets wider as the sort of people wanting it around. I just feel that you just sort of you're a bit more serious, yeah, a little bit more serious. I'm not saying for a moment that you guys can't have fun, but you do take on a lot of responsibility, and I just feel it's like, oh, do you know what? I can't be bothered with that. Sorry if that sounds a bit heavy and not very spirit, but I've just got to say it as it is. Um, and I just think that, no more small talk. I just don't want to hear it anymore. I just don't want to hear it anymore. I don't know whether or not you can understand that. But again, taking the high ground, this is an Aries energy. And it's powerful. I mean, Emperor energy is powerful. Again, I've got this moon. There can be confusion with that. Um, but look at it. I mean, I cannot believe how many majors you've got on the table. I'm actually blown away. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Goodness gracious. I can't remember the last time I had 9 majors out in one spread. That's amazing. That's absolutely mind blowing. So we've got 9 of the 16 that are actually major energies. So let's do it now. Sorry, Kat, I'm going to spend a bit of time with you because this for me is quite strong. And it's interesting, isn't it, that Saturn in the sky for you now is trying to strengthen its foundation. It's still a bit boggy. We know that it's Pisces in Pisces. But again, it's almost like it could well be that it's reality checks around, um, again, people who, how can I put this? You actually sort of looked at and thought, wow, I really respect them. That's something that you really value. Don't forget that. That's a very strong Saturn trait as well. Dignity, integrity, all of that. And it may well be that we're seeing through something, but there is a need for you guys to just check yourselves. I think particularly so with this Mars energy in Scorpio. Um, mm, yeah. Yeah, because that seems to be happening for you. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. I honestly, it's happening in that 12th. I don't think you're going to. I think it's Scorpio up there in that 12th. I actually think that, again, it's sort of like, I'm straight to it. I don't want any nonsense. And again, I talked in the overview about bullshit. Excuse my French here, guys. About the BS detector. Scorpio's really good at that. He is the detective, as I say. He digs deep. And it may well be that we're finding things out a little bit, but it's how we communicate that. I think that's very important. And I do say it with love. I did use the word obtuse, but I do say it with absolute love. Sometimes we can be very misunderstood. Capris can be misunderstood because they're so, sometimes quite stern. But I just don't think you're going to be bothering with people at the end of the day that you just can't tolerate. I don't know whether or not you can understand it. Maybe you're going through a lot of introspection. Maybe that's where you've been going with the recognizing that you have been on shifting sands, that life is never going to be the same again. And You know, I talk about Pluto in Capricorn, of course, Capricorn, that's who you are. But for me, it's Pluto is reshaping everything, right? And certainly with Saturn in Pisces, I think you may well have struggled that since the summer because, of course, he was retrograde. But I don't think you're going to be very tolerant of small talk, chit chat, gossip, anything like that. I don't know whether you can understand that, but that's where I'm going. So making a decision, you may well be breaking from people that now that you recognise are not on your level anymore. Now that sounds really, how can I put that? That sounds a little bit arrogant for me to say that. But I just think that, no, it's just like finding your ilk, right? And just walking away from anything at the end of the day that doesn't ultimately I just think that anything that's not ultimately your thing anymore, right? I want serious conversation. I don't want nonsense. I don't want chit chat. I don't want any of that. I need a degree of seriousness in my life, even. But please keep a check on how you communicate, particularly so with the Scorpio in the sky. Right, let me just have a look at this. I need to put 3 of these back because these were the ones that came out for the last reading. I just want to pop them back in, guys, because this is a new deck and I don't want... Right, let's have a look now. Gosh, I wonder... Okay, I'll go this way. It's much easier for me because these are very, very large cards. Sorry, guys. Oh, thank you. But you know what? I think it's chosen for me. Well, we have 2. And they wanted to bring me this one as well, guys. So I'm going to work with them. Okay, let's do it. Wow. Love, passion. Celebrations, guys, new beginnings, new opportunities, and the King of Swords. Can't believe it. You know, sword energy again is mental energy, and I am absolutely convinced that we are now in search of the deeper, the more serious, the more real. That's where I want to go. The more real, all right. And I'm absolutely confident that even though, you know, 3rd house energy, naturally Gemini, even though 3rd house is very adaptable, and that may well be what the universe is asking you to do as well, you know, on one level, but I just want to also say don't waste time in something, time, it's you, in something that ultimately is not feeding your intellect. That's where I want to go with that. And if that does include people, then so be it. There could be a little bit of freshness here, though. I've got to say it, Caps. There could be a little bit of a new passion energy. And again, you're sitting here working it out. But this, for me, yeah, could be a new beginning, new love. It does, and obviously this can be marriage, can be a lot of celebration, good stuff. You know, keeping the hearth warm here, but this energy as well also talks about work, don't forget. So, King of Swords, working it through, quite serious, I think, as you're moving forward now, get into it, but as I say, check the tongue, check what comes out of your mouth. If you don't want certain people in and around you, then maybe that's a situation that you've got to deal with as well, but just check your communication. Right, as we're going forward, don't be too eager, but have the right people around you. That's what I want to say. Alright, Cappy, hope that's helped you. God bless, and if you did understand, you know, obviously these generalised readings, but please share, please subscribe, and please click like. So, if it is love, guys, they've got to be on your level, intellectually. No more small talk, no more nonsense. Okay, take it easy, Cappy. Bye now.